Hello and welcome to the World Championship. New round, round 5 out of potentially 8 if you go all the way. There's 112 people left out of more than 1,000 that we started with. And so it's getting, yeah, there's no more easy groups almost. You're always going to face tough opponents. And we also managed to get into one of the 3 worst based on glyco rating groups in the lower bracket. And that is mostly because we are against none other than Arne, which is the number 10 glyco rated. We're also against Miloslav, and I'm going to call him DrRerNate. If you look at the ratings, which should be actually getting updated today. So next time we're gonna look at it again and see what changed, because definitely me and Miloslav only played around 80 games, or not even 80 games. It's 80 opponents. If you play a 4-player game, it's calculated like you have 3 opponents. So this is not even 80. It's more like maybe 50 or something. So this can definitely change. Arne also had a very nice going from 21 to 10. So I'm interested to see where everyone will land. But right now, yeah, Arne is definitely the guy to beat if you just look at the rating. But DrRerNate also GM title. It's a lot of experience, 1,000 games. Is around top 100, is actually the same number as the amount of players still left, and this is that same number but upside, or like flipped around. So I don't know, Illuminati is making the call here. But yeah, Miloslav is a bit of an underdog here with 211, and maybe let's see with the update if he climbs a bit or not. But this is +2, so maybe he's already a bit stable. But yeah, basically Arne is definitely the favorite, and we are not that far behind if we look at the expected rating. But if we look at the real rating right now, then this is more close to DrRerNate, and then Miloslav is the underdog for sure. But yeah, everyone already made it to this point, so everyone knows how to play. And let's see what happened in the game. Let's look at the leaders and wonders real quick. Now, H3, there's mostly some theater synergy. Labs is only really Einstein, a little bit Curie, and there's some Manhattan, some internet, but it's a bit awkward with just computers or something. Um, so yeah, the theater, and then just some strength, Gandhi, and then Mandela. So I wouldn't say that. I mean, I definitely generally don't love to go into the theaters, but of course, maybe an opera would be a little bit higher of a pick now in H2. I mean, drama, no Bach, so seems maybe a bit optimistic for my playstyle at least. But there's also the Hollywood, so yeah, definitely some theater synergy to look out for. And the leaders are, or the wonders are not very easy to make, like internet, Empire State, like Red Cross. Nothing that just like you just take a fast food change, or mm, the thing that goes to the moon. Uh, what is it called? Space Project. So yeah, it might be important to set up some synergy to actually be able to pick a wonder. Then in H2, there's definitely strong wonders. Harvard College, Railroad, Suez Canal, Kremlin is okay. Eiffel Tower, generally not the greatest. And also pretty decent leaders like Newton, Nobel, Teresa. No, Shakespeare is a bit useless. Katharina, I just don't like. Gaudi can be good, okay, but yeah. And then Darwin, of course, if you don't get a religion, could be nice. H1, Also a decent amount of good wonders. Machu Picchu, my favorite. Carolina, super strong. Forbidden City, super strong. So Michelangelo is definitely something to look out for. Also with iron, and then iron into Machu Picchu. And irrigation in this game is also quite strong because the biggest payoffs are Barbarossa and Machu Picchu. And they're both in the game. So definitely some irrigation potential. And yeah, some heavy phase solutions here, which also go with the Michelangelo, the Peters with the hanging gardens potential. If you just if you have it anyway, like it's a nice bonus, I guess. Columbus here, Gutenberg for yeah some transitional stuff with Barbarossa as well. Siska, there's some strength going on with Siska and Barbarossa, even Genghis Khan potentially, and then Isabel for the Suez Canal and HA. There are some strong leaders, Boudica, Confucius, Hammurabi. Sun Tzu can do something with the Suez Canal or with Columbus or with Barbarossa, Jan Ziska. So this Sun Tzu has a lot of synergies, which is pretty cool. Mm, yeah, then there's some fine leaders, Aristotle, Hippo maybe. And yeah, with the leaders or with the wonders, kind of similar. You have like some strong options, but they're not really in a row. Pyramids, and then Roman roads, I mean Colossus again with Sun Tzu, Suez Canal and stuff. Generally, I like Colossus quite a bit, even without much synergies. Um, so yeah, not everything is in the row yet, especially wonder-wise. It's definitely a question mark. And even though there are some strong options, St. Peter's, Taj Mahal, and even Machu Picchu are a bit difficult to get into, so skipping a HA wonder is also not the easiest, maybe. But yeah, since there's a lot of synergy, so it gets taken by Arne. Miloslav has a lot of nice options here. Can't really go wrong, although I'm not sure if EG is the best when there's not so many wonders to get, and there's a lot of nice options here. Not really sure if that's correct, but yeah, Colossus and Hippo, just leader wonder, get it out of here. And I actually take the Roman roads because there's already three good leaders here. There's no wonders left, and this Roman road is a very good wonder. There might even be Hammurabi coming out as well, which would also be super sick with the Roman roads. Now, one thing to note is that now that Arne chose his leader, he doesn't have a wonder, but Pyramids Acropolis coming. Miloslav also doesn't have a wonder, but also doesn't have a leader. Now he takes Confucius, and now there's already two people that wants to seed. And the third one has Colossus. Yeah, so he also doesn't mind seeding and then just getting his Colossus down. So this is, I've been complaining about this before, is the classic fourth position where people are going to push a lot and you're going to be in a very awkward position because you're going to have to like sort of react prematurely with the strength, maybe even going into knights or swordsmen, because otherwise you're gonna get hit by like some strength events. But at the same time, because you have to blink so early, they can just either yeah, like Arne maybe just doesn't even see strength events, and then he can just chill and make eco, and then I blinked first basically, and then he can just get eco, and then I just have nothing going for me, or just like he has one more turn because like he's player one and I'm player four, so it's like one more turn to actually get some eco going, and then I have to already on my turn have go into military, and then he actually has some eco going, which then snowballs quite a bit, and so it leaves me in a very yeah, bad spot economically. But I can also be, if I don't do that, I can also be punished heavily with the strength. So it's definitely my least favorite thing in the game almost, because it feels like you are just so left to your Like there's like nothing, there's no real decision kind of like you just have to kind of do something bad, and there's just no way out. So, but yeah, I do take Hammurabi. So I mean, of course, Hammurabi is a sick leader, but it's a bit scary when it got strength pushed. But yeah, here I can actually take the masonry with it, which is like super cool. So I mean, if you're a player one with this is like the giga nuts, right? I mean, Hammurabi, masonry, Roman roads. There's also again Michelangelo in the game, and like Forbidden City, uh, Transcontinental, Suez Canal. So there's definitely some beautiful masonry stuff. But yeah, I will have to think about strength, and especially with these leaders and wonders, I have to think very carefully. Now, to make matters worse, there's also open border agreement, so even drawing more potentially strength events and yeah, just aggressions and all these beautiful things. And generally, just yeah, I mean, third maze is super sick, of course. So I'm already feeling the pressure, even though it's like turn two. Acropolis, so also some strength, and even theocracy gets taken, which I mean, now there's Miloslav with theocracy, Acro running around. There's a Colossus here. There's a Sun Tzu here. People are gonna seed. Um, yeah, there are also Ziska, Barbarossa in the game, Genghis Khan. So yeah, again, I'm already panicking. Religion comes out. Monarchy gets taken. Now that does mean that I got lucky. Well, we also got three cards, right? So people have something to see it as well. But at least there's no like Caesar as well. But yeah, this is like the exact nightmare scenario like last time, with politics of or development of politics also being pretty key for if they want to take advantages of some strength push. But it's not so obvious for Arne to put in strength events, I would say, when you see that there's like Theocracy, Acro, and Colossus. Like maybe this first one would be maybe still strength, but now after he sees this, maybe he would be not so incentivized because it's not so obvious that he gets strongest, but maybe he will think that he will not likely not be weakest, maybe, and then he will still do it. But yeah, it's not so obvious the two seed strength event, so maybe that's good for me. But what else is good? I already drew this knight tactic. I even drew now this knight tactic as well with the development of politics, and I also get a knight for 1 CA, so I was pretty happy. Now, of course, I want to make the Roman roads, and I want to make masonry to make the Roman roads. And then I also need to do the knights very quickly because I mean, again, they're gonna see it. I need strength. So there's an iron here. I don't really have much to do. I have a lot of CA left. I mean, I could take a frugality. Maybe bread and circuses could be an option because I don't have any happy faces that I am looking at the moment. But and the religion just came out, which I missed, right? Um, I cannot build a temple, so maybe the red bread would be an option here, even with the masonry. But yeah, I think this iron, if you take this iron, yeah, you're just trolling actually. I think it's like a very easy trap to go maybe fall into. It's like, oh yeah, take an iron, right? But again, need masonry, need knights. That's already 8 science. And then when is this iron going up? Like never, basically. Because you also maybe even need the happy face solution. So yeah. Instead, I'm thinking I'm gonna get owned by all this strength, right? But what if I just get 1 yellow token from my Roman road, 2 yellow tokens from my inhabited territory, and 1 worker out already, and that would be a nice way to combat the extra strength that they have. So I find a way to get extra strength as well. So I actually get this knight tactic and the inhabited territory for the Columbus and the knights already, and then a masonry for the thing. So actually, kind of everything kind of works. And I think this is very important that you don't take the iron here. And I wonder how many people would do that. But yeah, just get some science out, of course. And I show the tactic, and I keep these two in hand. Available trade routes. He takes the iron. And here's kind of the thing, right? Like, he could just do this iron, or he can do this pyramids, because he's not really worried about the strength too much, especially as player one. But like, when it's my turn, on the same turn, but just because I'm later seated, then this is gonna be like empty, and then I just need to be strongest, kind of, at the end of my turn. Now, he shows this, which means that maybe I don't get the nice tactic from the knights from Sun Tzu, but yeah, not much to do about that. Goes theocracy with the acro. Nate, I get population. Does it a revolution? No. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to do anyway, so that seems like a good choice. That's my turn. Increase population. Get a knight going because yeah, I need to get strongest, right? So yeah, here you can kind of see that they can just make a normal turn, but I am forced to make like a strength turn, and then yeah, basically only their next turn they have to make strength. Get a free warrior, and yeah, I do have that covered at least. No, there was a knight for 2, but he can just do it like this and then just go to 7 while upgrading his eco. Yeah. Yeah, very strong, right? And here also goes to Genghis Khan. Doesn't opt to go into the knights, but just goes for the Genghis Khan, which I guess is interesting, maybe. Because there's a knight right there. But I guess he's also thinking he even needs more strength potential by just getting swordsman. Of course, if you could do triple swordsman, it's more strength than 2 warriors and a knight. But yeah. Or maybe he just, I don't know exactly. But he goes for the Forbidden City, which is of course very strong. And Doctor also gets strength, also has a legion. So even though, and takes the knights, even though in the Britain circuses, even though I am the one that put down the tech, and yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm the only one that actually invested in the tech, and uh, I have a good tactic. I'm still weakest, and I can't do anything about it. But actually, yeah, because this guy is unhappy. And so here, this is kind of what I was expecting. And now this is, of course, well, I mean, maybe they don't have a tactic, and then it's not gonna happen, maybe. But uh, yeah, this is now the sadness, right? Like I actually go into the tactic, I actually go into the knight, and I'm still weakest because yeah, of all this nonsense that they did with the acro and the theology and the colossus and actually the cartography plus Sun Tzu for +2, so everyone has their way of getting +2. And yeah, I mean, if I if I'm first instead of last in here, if I'm not fourth, then if I'm first, and like next turn I can just do inhabited territory, and then I immediately get strongest, and then everything is chill. But here you can see, like, because I'm fourth, this is so annoying that you basically one turn behind. Yeah. And yeah, I took the alchemy for 3 before because, as I said, these knights are here, and then the mastery is here, and then the H2 is already coming, so there's nothing else that you want except for alchemy. Like, there's no way you go into iron or irrigation or even code of law. Like, there's just nothing else you can do if you want to get anything going. And of course, here the Columbus is like premature. Normally, you keep the Hammurabi longer, but this is the only way for me to get more population out. Because yeah, obviously. And if I don't do that, then I don't get stronger. And now here I'm hoping that there's not too many strength events. And like I said, I don't think there's too many strength events because it's like, as you can see, it's not so obvious who's gonna be the strongest. Especially you don't know who's gonna get Barbarossa, who's gonna get Ziska. So who knows? But yeah, I was definitely like that can definitely snowball in a really bad way, right? But yeah, if you don't have the Columbus, you're just like completely screwed here, right? You're just gonna be weakest for the whole like for a long time, and then they would also see that you're gonna stay weakest, so they can just seed strength events, and then you're gonna lose all the strength events, and they just keep seeding with their 4 MA, 3 MA. They can just keep drawing cards, so and you're just gonna get destroyed. So this Columbus is definitely keeping me in the game if I don't get completely owned in this round. And the Machu Picchu is here, and the irrigations are coming. So, are the irrigations gonna get denied or not? Miloslav, yeah, science comes out, so that's helpful. Get some iron going. And he takes the first irrigation, which is nice. So then we can deny the second one. I don't really want to take the second one though. But the doctor here has Barbarossa plus irrigation as a possibility. So that seems like a good way to deny it while having else also use for it. And here, I mean, I don't have a million rocks. I actually took this patriotism to, yeah, build more guys with my leader and stuff, getting the extra population. But also, if the territory comes, I thought then I can actually bid something and rebuild with the patriotism. And so I did bid like a full army +1, but I cannot bid the second one. And I had a feeling that, I mean, he should do it, that the doctor would just put everything in, and he did. And now the fun starts. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and he's back in action, even a code of law, and he takes the irrigation, and he even has option for a rich land. So, okay, now I use my leader. I finally finished my Rome roads just before the end of the age, which, I mean, that's definitely worth it. I get the patriotism out because, yeah, if I finish the Roman roads, then I needed the patriotism. I think there was like something else that I could take, but I really wanted the patriotism. Get the knights in, and now finally I'm like on 10 strength because of my uh, Columbus pick. So yeah, if you take iron there, you just take that. I take an EG. Mm, yeah, or yeah, I think I was looking at the frugality a little bit. Because I was thinking like I go here 1, then I lose 2. So if I go to the frugality, it just means that I get very quick into this last one. But if I get the last one out, first of all, it's gonna be like unhappy, and second of all, that means that I'm gonna stop producing food, right? So it kind of means that I get the frugality for 2 food, and then I gonna stop producing food. So if I didn't do anything, I'm just gonna get the 2 food in 2 turns for free. So yeah, the EG, don't know when I'm gonna use it, but it is can definitely be used. Also take it away from Arne, because Arne has this Machu Picchu that he can then build a little bit easy. And I actually getting quite lucky here because all the events were non-strength events, and then I actually go to 10, and suddenly foray comes out. So yeah, just some luck. Of course, again, like if I didn't go for this Columbus, then this would have never happened. So of course, it's also it's always a combination, but definitely got a bit lucky there. And Arne not getting his fast. I'm sure he's heated it with his bonus. It's a bit sad for him. Yeah, Michelangelo's too late for anyone to be able to pick up. And the new deposits are here, which I had a feeling that it was here because I don't know, I just had a feeling because people were upgrading their irons, and yeah, if you don't draw it, then I mean, okay, the doctor also didn't have it, but that's the nice thing about the Roman roads. You always get like 4, and with the blue token, you actually don't get corrupted, and other people might even get corrupted. But of course, if you have iron, then they just come here, so it's a lot easier to not get corrupted actually. But yeah, here just a little bit too late, but he can now upgrade the last of his iron. And this is a bit of a situation which, yeah, +2, but at least he already has this, and I guess he can still build this. Okay, I guess that's quite fine. But everyone is low on science, except for me, because soon I'm gonna also put 0+0 the classic, and I get the alchemy with the breakthrough, and then the Roman roads will go to science, and then everything is good. +5 science per turn. The doctor upgrades some and make some more warriors. And in the meantime, yeah, he makes 6 in total. And in the meantime, Sun Tzu changed to the fighting band. So right now this is +4, but it can go even to +6 if he copies that. And then he also has the warfare now. So it's a bit scary here. Especially, yeah, I mean, you can still go for some swordsman or, yeah. But he does have low science, yeah. But he has like vast territory now. This what is it called? Hippo token. So he has like a he's not done. Like he can just make like 4 more warriors than other people. Although I also actually have +3 yellow tokens, so I'm also having some nice population going. So I even have another population which I can then go here. I get the breakthrough with the lab. And yeah, until the age I don't even get extra unhappy faces, so I'm like all Gucci. And I'm actually making enough science that I can actually go into a very quick government if I get lucky. And of course, the theocracy and the monarchy are here, which means that the first government is very likely to come to me. And yeah, I mean, Arne also doesn't really have the science for it, but generally, I would have of course, a much higher chance to take the government, even if he could go into it. So that was something I was definitely hoping for. Now there's also some more science, but I don't really want to bid on it. My science is also okay. Arne wins it for just the warrior and his bonuses, so pretty good deal. Finish Machu Picchu. And actually, he would have liked to take this Carolina, I'm sure, but there's 1 CA short. Does he take the alchemy? No, he wants to, which it's a little greedy, but I mean breakthrough is also science. But it's a little greedy, maybe. I don't know. Because what is his next project? So maybe because you have like so much rocks, maybe you just upgrade the alchemies and call it a day before you're really stuck on with your science. But if you look at the H2 leaders, there is Nobel, which can help. But Newton, I mean, sure, with scientific method, but if there's no scientific method, then you have nothing. And if you just have Newton with alchemy, then suddenly you have like 5 science per turn, which is kind of cool, instead of 2. So generally, I think people take Knight Newton as like a new scientific method leader, which of course that is the nuts. But I think if I see this, I actually like to take alchemy, because then when I see a Newton early, I can just pick it up and it's just great value. One science and a CA pretty much every turn. I mean, everyone loves early Nobel with 2 science and 2 strength, to be fair, but Newton, 1 science, or 1 science, 1 CA, I mean, that's basically maybe about as strong. And then, of course, you could sometimes take a journalism, but it doesn't really happen that often. But then in H3, you can also just get a computers, and then suddenly he scales into H3 very well. Well, Nobel falls off. Also, replacement is a CA. So I like just having alchemy. Then I can always go into Newton. I can go into Nobel. I mean, because in H2 there's usually not that many options that are really nice. So opening up Newton with alchemy I actually like, funnily enough. But it doesn't let you get away with iron also a bit if you're lucky. But if you're not lucky, then you're just, yeah, of course. But yeah, you can get scientific method with Newton, and you spike that deficit that you have from the science in a nice way. Miloslav goes for heavy cavalry now with the triple swordsman, so he's pretty strong as well. The doctor seeds, there's another science little bonus, so that helps the people also with very low science. If there's confusion in the game, you usually get like 2 science from that. Goes by the services, goes to 15, which is a bit of an annoying number, especially me having only 2 MA. The other one has having a lot more MA to just defend also. So it's my turn, and I actually go for the Suez here. I have 4 CA. If I take the coal, I can build it and then nothing. I just get corrupted. And I actually drew a wealthy territory, and I have a masonry. So with the masonry, yeah, it's only 2 instead of 4, so that is cool. With the wealthy territory, instead of costing 11, it costs only 5. So now you're just making, I get with the Columbus and the wealthy, I get +2 rocks per turn. I mean, that is basically like 1 coal upgrade, but yeah, it only costs me basically 5, so I get the rock return very quickly, so it should just be good. And of course, it doesn't cost any science, so now I am still prepared for a nice uh, government next turn. If I go into this call, I first of all get corruption, so that's already 2 rocks, and then here this also goes quickly. I get 2 rocks. Of course, I could even get more rocks because I do have also science to go into navigation, which is another thing I thought. I was like, I do have the science to go in navigation, and then I can actually maybe win some more stuff. And lastly, it can be annoying to be on bronze, not only because it's low rock, but actually going like high rock with bronze from the Suez Canal can be very annoying because you're gonna have corruption issues very quickly, and like you cannot really build up any big amount of rocks with that. Then even, yeah. But with the wealthy territory and the Roman roads, suddenly I have +4 blue tokens, so I can actually have a nice amount of flexibility with my rock storage and 4 CA to just actually pick cards without having to spend my rocks and getting corruption. So yeah, I decided to do this. The only downside is that I can't really use the engineering genius without going into corruption. So, and of course I also take away the Suez from other people, from the Colossus, for example, which also has already a colony. And lastly, I do also have the option to still draw like a nice colony, of course. There's a small chance. Don't get it. And keep in mind, I'm still on 0 plus 0, which is the classic Peter strategy. This is the waiting room of the terrorism, like the classic. So another one comes out, strategic territory, of course. I mean, it's like nice to win. Um, but just because I have a Suez Canal, but I don't I can't really uh bid bid for it, I think. Because I don't know. Can I look at my no, not really. I thought I couldn't really like rebuild in a nice way or something. I don't know. I think. I mean, of course, if I get it for a night, it's good enough. But I can't really bid a whole army. And now you might think, how the hell did I bid for, right? Now here's where the mind games come. If you know that you're not gonna get the the colony, you might as well play some mind games. Some people would just go for the X, and sometimes you can do that to just not show your hand basically. Because what I do is I look at this and I'm like, oh, Arne bid 6. That means that he probably has a 2 H1 defense card or H2 defense card with a 2. I mean, yeah. In this case, it's like the Sun Tzu would be, if he bids 2 and a 1 would be 3, plus 2 is 5, and then we will be at 7. So he definitely did not bid the army. So the logical explanation is 2 plus 2 plus 2 ones or a 2. And I think before, I don't really remember exactly, but he already won something and he bid some H1 cards. But of course, he did draw a lot of H1 cards already. Um, because he has like open border from turn 1. So maybe he has even more, but yeah, maybe it's even more possibilities like a H2 card. So you give away some info, right, if you bid. Is basically the idea. Now, I'm trying to convey that I drew an H2 defense card, because how do I actually bid for? If I bid a knight, let's see, can you not see? I mean, you can see from them how many cards you have. I mean, you can see it here. I have the wealthy territory, of course, and then immigration and the thing. So I have like 2 and 2. But soon they will see that I show the wealthy territory, because I will colonize it. So they will see that I cannot have 2-1. So basically, I'm like making this way too complex. But basically, I cannot really bid for, except if I do 2 plus 2. Because if I do 2 plus 1, it's gonna be 5, because I have the tactic, right? So the other way would be like 2-2, nice. That makes 0 sense if you can just do 2 and 1. So there's like no other way than to go 2 plus 2 or 2 plus 1 plus 1. But then once I show the wealthy territory, you know that it cannot be 2 plus 1 plus 1. So I have to have a an H2 defense card. Now, why is this important? Well, I mean, why not, right? First of all, like, any edge is nice. Any mind game is nice if you give them, if they think, yeah, if you give them false information, it's nice. So I knew for sure that I wouldn't get this. I didn't even want it for 4, because then I would have to actually send away the 2 and a 1. But I know that with their modifiers, they all, and also their leaders like Barbarossa, I know that they will always bid more than me, especially when Arne is first player. So even if he bids a knight, it's already 4, and then my 4 loses to that. So yeah, it's a nice way to do a little bit of a mind game. And because the doctor is actually, and he has 2-1, so that probably means Arne has maybe a 2. I don't know, probably a 2. If I would have to guess, but he has 2 colonization in his hand. Is basically the assumption. Unless he also does some sick mind games, which is very unlikely. But okay. But yeah, I saw that of course the doctor has a lot of strength potential, and I really want him to think that I have an H2 defense card, because then he will be much more reluctant to attack me. Okay, I mean it's obvious, right? But I think I've been doing this more and more now. Of course, people will know after seeing this game, but I've done this in the Australian Open as well in the last game. If you saw that one, where I bid like 5, which was impossible to do without an H3 card, but I didn't have an H3 card. I just clicked the notepad thing, or like the numbers, the arrows to 5, because there was like no way that I could actually make 5. So I just let them think that I have an H3 card, and then later I didn't get the crest. Maybe because of that as well. Like probably not, but it could be. Like I needed at some point like 2 defense cards, and they didn't aggress me, and they aggressed someone else. So who knows? But it's fun, right? I mean, I love mind games. So that was like a tangent. Um, so some breakthrough, yeah, obviously. He really wants Harvard College. And yeah, like the alchemy, right? Like maybe just instead of this breakthrough, you can already just make some alchemies, and then you don't have to spend like 3 CA on a little bit of science. But of course, yeah, the scientific method would be nice, but you don't know when it's gonna come. And Miloslav didn't go into it yet, and Doctor also didn't go into it yet. So I think, I mean, he is behind me, so has the best chance to get the scientific method. But I mean, the Doctor has 6 CA, and he's has a pretty decent chance to also get it. So I think it's a bit risky maybe to not go for that alchemy there. Okay, so but yeah, the Miloslav does go for the alchemy right now. So, but you still have to compete against someone. If there's 3 people with no if there's already 3 people that have alchemy, well, basically, if you basically it's like, oh, you just give away the alchemy and you know that someone else will pick it up. Then 3 people will have alchemy. Then you get the first scientific method. But now it's like 50-50. It's actually just 50-50. So this is a problem. Maybe a bit dangerous. Knowledge of the ancients does help though. Maybe it's some knowledge about that, and that also helps a bit. Of course, there is Harvard College, there is Nobel, so there's definitely a bit of a safety net. Even Maria Theresa, but he doesn't have any food yet, right? So there's definitely some support. And so yeah, that definitely makes it a bit easier to greed. And those things are very important to keep in mind. Now, okay, Doctor goes for the drama. There's some H3 synergy with that, but yeah. He does also have a big yellow bank, so I guess spamming some dramas could definitely be something if he wants to, yeah, if he desires to. And I guess the Breton circuses, so even like Gaudi could make work with the drama. So I think it's maybe a fine drama there in his position. Now I want to make the engineering genius here, but I get food and I seeded immigration actually, which is risky because I have an unhappy guy. Excuse me. But there were so many strength events still here, like border conflict, uncertain borders, reign of terror, raiders, call to arms, that were actually quite nasty on 4CA. Um, and I know that I can't really get stronger this turn because I want to finish my Suez. And yeah, what do I do here? I think, what did I kill? Oh, I did the idle worker. Yeah, yeah. I get the idle worker, then I get a new worker, but it's unhappy. It's unhappy? Yeah, it's unhappy, right? Yeah, it's unhappy. So it's a new worker, it's unhappy. So I can't get stronger. Um, And so that means that after Arne improves his strength, which I mean he has a billion resources, so I'm sure he will. Then I'm be weakest against these two. So I was thinking I kind of wanted to push so that I get hit by less strength events, and then by the time that this comes, because it's an H2, so these will go first, and maybe I can get um I can get my populate, or I can fix my happy face. I can even make just a religion worst case kind of, but yeah, it was a bit risky. I'm not sure if that was worth it. And now because of the harvest, I think I had some corruption issue, or maybe even just CA issue because I want the common and I need to up my food, and then I don't have enough to play the engineering genius. But with the masonry, it's nice and efficient, so I get sort of like a CA back. If I can somehow get it on like a Harvard College or a Kremlin, then would be of course super cool. But yeah, this is definitely worth. And then Guelphy territory, and as you can see, developed a little bit too late. Developed territory, but yeah, now I'm like a +5/+5. And I only need the selective breeding, which is right here. And I was also thinking if I should maybe let the common go down something. Because again, these two don't have. But right now, Arne can go into the common, and he also has some breakthroughs, so it's not like he's stuck on like zero science, so he can still take like selective breeding and other stuff and go into that. So I was thinking, oh yeah, he will go take the common, and I really like I don't have any extra MA, and yeah, you don't know when the next common or whatever comes. So in the end I definitely thought I should just take the common right now, and this is kind of the forced turn, which yeah is good. Getting common is very nice, common early, and yeah, I mean it's pretty healthy 5/5. Then I just need the selective breeding. And I mean, I was thinking Arne probably takes this one, and then there's the irrigation is not yet down, but I was hoping that he would put it down maybe if he sees that Arne takes the selective breeding. And then the doctor already has the irrigation at least, so I should get selective breeding at some point. And I do have some extra population already out, so that is also already nice. Arne, he actually is a bit too busy with all his resources to take the breeding. I actually has one more left, but right now he cannot use his rocks. So he takes the cannon and he has corruption. Now I don't know what he has in hand for the tactics, and but this does mean that Miloslav will take the selective breeding, pretty much guaranteed. And then it means that Doctor has food, and I am again in front of Arne, which means that if you've seen my other videos, 75%, I mean, it's also just obvious, if it comes here or here or here, I can take the selective breeding. And so he will get the selective breeding eventually, but it could take a while. So that is definitely something that he, yeah, needs to consider. So he really values his cannon very highly. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. So let's see maybe if he can make the cannon work. With corruption either way, not much to do about that. Scientific breakthrough. Now, if Arne had the alchemy, then he would have a lot more science. But he does have a lot of science somehow. I don't know how actually. Because of yeah, I mean scientific breakthrough and knowledge of the ancient. So, but this will also go quick, go away quick. But yeah. But he actually there's a lot of science events, and maybe even is there maybe another Confucius as well? But yeah, it does seem like he has enough to carry him over towards the scientific method. So yeah, so now as expected, selective breeding, even opera again. I think for the H3 wonders leaders and wonders. I mean Hollywood wonder. So I do get hit finally by a strength event. I mean that's deserved. The last card was a strength event. I guess the Carolina, but yeah, no, it's fine. more warriors. Does he take the cavalryman? And so this cavalryman is now out, which is interesting because then this means that Arne doesn't have cavalryman. Miloslav doesn't have any knights or cavalrymen, and I do have knights, so I can still go into this if it's H2 one. So if there's like some classic army or some stuff like this, then it would be bad for Arne and Miloslav. And here, again, I saw this rivalman right here, and I wasn't sure if anyone was gonna take it, because since Arne and Miloslav both already have swordsmen, and they don't have the most CA ever. And so I was looking, and I was thinking, okay, he has 6 science. If he just takes this rifleman, he just can upgrade them, and he already has 21 strength. Well, sorry, he had 17 strength. And yeah, I don't really have a defense even, I think. Maybe I probably could do the defense, maybe, but it was basically this turn I still have a defense probably, but if he decides to like war me or something, although he does have 3 MA, so he need like two MA to. I guess he needs like one more turn to set up maybe, and then he can war me or regress me and it would be annoying. So I just decided to give him this pact, and then I should be safe. Generally, because I think people don't have food to make more guys, and they also don't have any swordsmen, so the only thing they can do is like make some. Or sorry, they only have swordsmen, so the only thing they can do is like, I don't even know. Like it's pretty hard to get strong. They don't have any knights, so they can't really get a tactic going except for like defensive army. But that would also already be awkward with like no population. So yeah, they should be a juicy target, and then I'm not a target, so that's pretty cool. And generally, I don't know, like he's on monarchy, he's like 6, and he's doing fine. But I wasn't like, oh, he's just gonna win with this or something. I was just like, no, I am kind of safe, and that is very good for me. So here comes the Newton, which I talked about with alchemy, and here's the religion, which is quite nice. The Newton already plays. Okay, I get the selective reading, and I get my happy faces just before the emigration. And then I make a warrior to be extra safe, and also maybe win some strength, like the Cold War, or just not do strength events. Is more the thing. And yeah, here comes the scientific method. So I mean, it's decent timing, just in time, but you can still make a republic. And he still has enough science now, so this definitely worked out, I think. I mean, he did take like the breakthrough for 3 CA, which would maybe the alchemy didn't need to do. I don't know if he could have done something nice in that turn anyway, though. So I mean, I think it worked out for him. So but yeah, not taking the selective reading though. I mean, as you can see, this lock on population is definitely a bit of a problem, and you don't know when the last one is gonna come. And I actually there is a Cold War, which is like completely nuts. Like I've been quite fortunate with these events because like I win the foray and I win the Cold War when I've been like the weakest for most amount of time and only got hit by like a border conflict. But I did expect that there were not too many strength events, which there weren't. Only like one, basically the foray, and then later only the border conflict. So only two out of like a lot. Like as you can see here, like there's a lot, but there's like no Reign of Terror, no Uncertain Borders, no Crusades, no Call to Arms, no Raiders. So it's always important. And then of course it was. I also knew from Sun Tzu with the cartography that there will also be some territory. So there's also the chance that someone will just bid on the territory. Well, first of all, the territory is not a strength event, so that's good. But also they can bid on the territory, and then I can not be weakest anymore. So that was something that I was seeing that were giving me some hope, and I got a bit lucky that there wasn't. But yeah, also a bit expected. So yeah, here Miloslav gets the selective breeding, very good for him. He actually prepares for kind of, well, Shakespeare it out, but for the Gaudi. The doctor tries aggression on Arne, which is expected with his extra strength. Arne didn't actually get stronger, but he can just defend. And here's one of the H2 cards that he probably had. We can also look at his hand now to see that he only has H2 cards, so he threw away his H1 card. Or did he seed one even? No, it's a red one. If that's correct, because like on the replay, that's not always correct. So yeah, that's fine. This means that he now has to worry about strength. What was the thing? It was spy. Spy is pretty cool. And yeah, as I said, he is very scary. Also because of me, but also without me, it would be scary for me. Though I did draw now an H2 defense card and put in developed territory. Yeah. And here the immigration comes that I seeded and I don't get hit by it, so that's nice. Arne does get hit. And I take the cannon because one rifleman is already gone. The cavalrymen are already gone, and I have knights, so they're not so great for me either way. But so there's only one rifleman and one cannon. It's like at the end of the age. And so I was, and Arne can, I don't know. I guess, I mean, rifleman for him is not so super sick. So maybe I can get the rifleman, but yeah, I definitely kind of wanted to have this option. It's very, like, the worst case is definitely having like no tech, and then you're really, really scared. And you're also playing against Barbarossa that is pretty big. Like, it's not like everyone is just being peaceful. So yeah, I like this. And I also thought, no, never mind. Newton going in. And Newton alchemy is just completely works. I also have +1 science from the Roman road still, yeah. Another defense card. Team sports doesn't stay weakest. Goes for the Eiffel Tower because he just needs a dump. Now, his science is not terrible, but it's also not amazing. Maybe Harvard College is still good. His happy face sorted for a bit. What does the deck say? I mean, Einstein with some extra science, not never really bad. Well, I mean, he doesn't know. He has one blue cartography, but he really needs military theory still, because the open border is also gonna go away. So military theory is here, then selective breeding, then he needs like cannons, then he needs air force at some point. Yeah, it is. It is probably fine. It's probably fine that he like it's. I mean, a bit more would not be bad, to be honest. Like, yeah, like I said, like military theory is like 11 already, and then I mean, civil service also exists, but that can definitely also be taken by us. Military tier can also be taken by us. And then selective breeding cannon's not super expensive, so it's not the big issue. And maybe the culture is just good. Not so sure either way. But maybe also this second step being 7 got him out of corruption, which otherwise he wouldn't have. So maybe that was like the tipping point, if anything. Oh yeah, there was also still a strategy, which he really wanted. And now he doesn't get it. And I can still get the military theory. The doctor, probably not something he really wants. Also doesn't have infinite science for it. If he has a lot of science, he rather just goes for H3 government. But I can definitely take the military theory, especially when I know that he's on Republic. So it's definitely scary when the strategy drops here, that he can get really owned mm, by having no MA. But yeah, so maybe that's another reason why getting a little bit more science could be good, to actually go into H3 government and even fundamentalism without having an issue. So it's definitely a consideration. I'm not I'm not sure which one is better, but I am definitely someone that is usually errs on the mm, well, I don't know what I don't know what you would call more greedy in a way, because like not making any culture is kind of greedy. Just keep going uh for economy is kind of greedy, but I would say culture is more greedy. I mean, it's more safe to just get the economy going so you don't get into troubles, into problems, because you can't go into a government, or you can't go into military theory, or like all these things, air forces, because you don't have science. It's of course, yeah, it's more of a safe play. But of course, yeah, he could have just gotten the strategy, then it's also fine. Um, so here comes the war, and that is pretty nasty, of course. And then, I mean, he already gets +6 from tactics, so this classic army is not even that sick at the moment. It's only +2, but it's another +2. So now he's at 32, which is very big. Again, because of me as well. And this is basically defensive army or bust territory, I would say. Take some yellow cards. Pretty solid row here for having a lot of CA, because I have the fortifications also. So I mean, there's no knights that can be taken, so it's really just defensive army. But again, he did take this cannon very early, so maybe he has defensive army. Definitely a relatively good chance if you take like 3 CA, or no, if you take it over selective breeding in that spot, right? And here's finally my coal, and yeah, I mean, my Suez has been carrying quite fine, like 5 rocks is just completely fine. Like upgrade iron is 6, right? So it's like completely fine, to be honest. No, just take the coal because it's like 1 CA, and you might get some efficient upgrade or something, right? And then maybe just do it, or if it like somehow if you somehow have like nothing to do. I mean, if I can somehow do it like next turn, but I don't even have enough rocks for with the reserves, maybe one. But I mean, I need to upgrade my strength more than anything else, so I don't really expect this call to do that much, but it just kind of works, right, with the CA right now. And here's the Hussars. Well, I mean, okay, Hussars. The Arne's turn. Now William, yeah, I have a lot of, lose a billion yellow tokens. He does have the defensive army. Now, of course, he still loses the war, so he still loses yellow token, and then he also just killed off a farm. which might be dubious. I don't know, because I don't know. I mean, of course, this is an H1, but if you're really going into this position where you're not making any food, then even if you get like a selective breeding, which is right here, upgrading it, then it takes a while for the next one to come out, and then you have to put that one also on selective breeding to actually get somewhere. When instead, if you just kill off a mine, you just take selective breeding, you could do selective breeding, upgrade them both, and then you just get steady, right? And because you have the Machu Picchu, you still have the 6 rocks per turn, which is, I mean, not great, rather have 8. It's definitely a lot better, but um, yeah. But 6 is still respectable, and he has a lot of CA, so he can fix it with some yellow cards. And then, yeah, you don't get this super mega awkward position, right? So I think this is I think it's a mistake. Um, no, at least he has Machu Picchu, so he doesn't go into minus territory right away. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this is something I see a lot of people do, where they kill off their second farm and they go to like 0, and then it's like, yeah, but how do you get the second farm up, right? Because like, oh yeah, I can go to selective breeding, and with the Machu Picchu, you actually go to +1, right? You actually go to +1 instead of +2, so it takes like a million years. So there's like, without the reserves, I guess this reserve is gonna be taken. Okay, it's not taken. Yeah, without reserves, like if you can get a reserves and then you get a pop very quickly, then it's usually fine. But if you don't really have a straightforward way to get your second farm, it's just gonna be way too slow and it's gonna be very painful. So we lose a lot of stuff. Actually, Barbarossa gets lost and Genghis Khan get lost, and that means that I am no longer weakest, which is cool. And then yeah, Barbarossa got lost. The drama was a nice try, but as as one likes to see it, that the drama is useless. I mean, I hate drama. Who likes drama, guys? No, I'm just, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, drama is always like, oh, this drama can work, and then I never see it work. Anyway, what were we talking about again? There was like something else. Oh yeah, the engineering genius one. That was a bit sad. Because I had like in my hand, I actually made a Suez Canal, but I couldn't use it on it because of corruption issues and CA issues. But yeah, it's what it is. It's fine. The other car was Forgettity, right? I mean, Forgettity was like completely useless, and then at least Arne couldn't take the AG and then finish his Machu Picchu very quickly and stuff. But yeah. Okay, yeah, Miloslav is like, okay, that's defensive army. That looks like pretty good to me. Yeah, there's no bell, it's very late. Gaudi, Catherine, I mean, he was waiting on the Gaudi, it looked like. And Nate was probably looking at the Nobel. He wins the war. He also attacks Miloslav. He can defend, which means that Miloslav is completely open for Arne now. So understandable to attack, but definitely helping Arne out here. But that's also not a huge issue because Arne is struggling a bit, or a lot even, since he has 2 MA and a lot of issues with his food now. So yeah, giving Arne like a free aggression here. If it fails, yeah, it's like fine. If it works, it's great. If it fails, it's not the end of the world that you give someone else a free aggression. Finishes up his mines, takes Catherine, actually, because he loves yellow tokens, which, yeah, I mean, yellow tokens are pretty cool. Like, vast territory, and then the war over yellow tokens territory. Now he's doing all the different things, and he also has the hippo, right? So he got like a mm, get yellow tokens in 4 different ways kind of challenge, like some mm, how do you say it, like achievement or something. Yeah, pretty strong. Scientific method. He would like to at some point go into like HG government, but he also doesn't need too many things. Air forces, yeah, I mean they are expensive, air forces and a government. Then maybe even something else like, yeah, he doesn't need a lot of science, so he's definitely low on science, which is obvious uh, when you, I mean, 4 science per turn is just not gonna cut it long term. Yeah, here I canceled the pact because I didn't have anything that I really wanted to seed while being weakest. And this was so sick. Top deck civil service, top deck air forces. And I have exactly 22 science. So yeah, I just take that. And the wave of nationalism, make an air force suddenly. I copy this thing. And I'm strongest with just a pretty efficient build. And now I sit with the civil service. Blue token alert, 7 blue tokens. But yeah, and all I can make them all for free, right? Like you get the civil actions back, and because the civil actions get back, I can actually play my whole turn while getting some reserves and everything. Like super sick. So here was like, okay, I mean I have like no culture, but that's usual. My opponents also don't really have culture except for Miloslav, which he was just like making his theocracy aggro with actually the Genghis Khan, making like 5 or 6 culture per turn. I think a religion, I guess. Yeah. So he making like 6 culture per turn with like nothing kind of. So he actually has like a big lead, 50 points lead. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, it's definitely something. 50 points is quite a bit. And yeah, we're also at the start of H3, so maybe you should look at the position a little bit. Yeah, as I said, I mean, 0 - 1 is not so great. He can finish this to fix his happy face, but he has 2 military actions. He does have like a rev idea, but it's not enough to get military theory out right away. If he also wants selective breeding and military theory, I don't know exactly, like 16. Oh, that would be perfect for him. Yeah, if you get like military theory and then selective breeding, it's like 16, which you could do like next turn already. Oh yeah, also even as breakthrough. Yeah. So I got the science thing is like fine, but this food thing is a big disaster. Like selective breeding now goes +1, which is then goes to 0 because like this is already 2 food, right? So this is like a massive problem. Yeah. You kind of need mechanized agriculture at this point, because I mean, what are you gonna do? I think maybe disband this iron, double selective breeding at this point. So yeah, here you see that it feels like at this point maybe like disbanding an iron is still the best option. So unless he gets like there's even an international radicals, by the way. Yeah, unless he gets like a mechanized agriculture, but even then it might still be nice to have 2, right? Because like 1 instead of 2 you get 5, so it's +3, so it's 0 + 2. That kind of it's still gonna give you like 3 turns. So even with a mechanized agriculture, I wouldn't blame you for killing off the iron when you have yeah, and now it's still 6 rocks, and you have 9 CA to get some extra rocks as well. So yeah. So definitely with the MA, very vulnerable, doesn't draw cards, doesn't draw impact, the food, so quite bad position. Miloslav, I mean, he's still on theocracy and it doesn't look like he gets out of it very quickly. Strength wise, he can go up, but next one will be unhappy. If he goes out of this, then he also needs more happy faces, and there's like his pro sports here, but otherwise it's like maybe Marlene or Chaplin or something, perhaps. Definitely not looking too great, but he does have like plus 50 points, so if he just focuses on a lot of eco now, he can bleed some points, and still in the end game have like equal points. But definitely also quite a bit of issues, like 5 CA right now. I mean, at least it's not 4, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of MA at least. His science is low. His production is fine. At least his strength will be fine. Yellow bank is pretty low. I mean, the doctor, obviously, he will go scientific method. He has like 9 rocks. He is gonna go to 8 science. He has still, with the +2, he's gonna get an extra guy every 2 turns. So it's still not even so bad. Yeah, he has cavalryman. He has a good tactic. He already has a lot of stuff here, and he's gonna get even more yellow tokens. I was hoping that he would go for it this turn, leave me alone. Basically, that was the idea, right? I get stronger, and also I don't get hit by the yellow token by canceling the pact with him. Yeah, Colossus draw now. So the doctor's looking quite well here. And then me, I just got to the Giga Nuts top deck, so I'm should be also looking very nice because yeah, I have good yellow bank. I already have good strength. I have actually, I mean, it's not the best income, but it's not the worst, and I can still improve. But actually, I guess the strength push just made everyone a bit weak because I have like, if this is like a normal game, I would not be so happy with this because I would want at least 6 and at least 6, and this is 5 with the Newton. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess I got the Roman roads science for the whole time, so I was at 6, so it was like it was kind of on the edge of fine, but with the civil service and the air force, I just have a good amount of CA, and it's like good enough. I mean, if I want to, I can just do coal and then upgrade coal, and then suddenly mm, my civilization would be kind of up to par already, eco wise. So that must mean that it's like kind of okay. So I would say the doctor is looking the best, and me, and then these two are looking quite bad. But Milo does have such a big lead that I think he should also be fine. So it's not so obvious that we can really make a lot of points with our stuff. So maybe it is really kind of still a game between us three, and then Arne needs to get like mechanized agriculture going very quickly. But yes, he did get the free aggression, and now there is a plunder, and now he can get food. So actually something nice happens to him. But I guess he couldn't get enough food. And yeah, here maybe the reserves will come into play because he actually doesn't need all the science necessarily. I mean, it is no, he does need the science. To be fair, he does also need the science. But yeah, the reserves was like kind of needed to just get this population out as soon as possible, and then you can play the game a bit. So now you still can't play the game, or just kill off your iron. But it actually takes the oil, which I was looking at. Like, oh yeah, from bronze into oil is still worth it at this point. The coal is not so efficient anymore. It takes like too many turns to get a return. I mean, this is probably maybe the last turn that it could be okay, potentially. But yeah, I wanted the oil, so I was a bit sad. Although maybe someone else would have taken it. And here it comes the defensive. And this is also interesting because like he actually takes the Nobel and then he takes Marlene. When of course if you exchange Nobel, it costs you another CA, so it's not like a free thing to keep. But yeah, it does give you some science, so it should definitely be worth it. Yeah, so honestly, there's like not no real question there. But yeah, Marlene, I'm a big Marlene hater. Most overrated card in the game in 4 players. But he does have the Opera. But when is he gonna make Opera? Can you tell me? Because strength-wise, he's on the edge. But if I want to, I can push more strength quite easily. And then, where's his population? Next one is unhappy. Sure, you can make an Opera. One Opera. Sure, you can make one Opera, but... I mean, you get the Ghost unit, but... Yeah. Would still need to make 2 more units. But yeah, I mean, it has some potential, I guess. Like, one Opera even getting +1 happy face is quite nice. So 1 happy face, 1 culture, and then the Ghost unit. It's like... Okay, I guess. Let's see how it works out for him. Late international trade agreement. You get another rock, so that's quite nice. Now I'm at 6 rocks with my triple bronze. Air forces get taken. Navigation, late navigation. Oh yeah, the navigation was late, so it was a bit annoying, right? Because it was actually the last card. Because I actually wanted that, and then maybe get some more colonies for my Suez. But yeah, I mean, it still was completely. It already paid for itself, and the blue tokens as well, right? Like the blue tokens are actually super cool. Never getting any corruption issues. But yeah, now Doctor also, and here's the Vast, and I actually bid a little bit, and I didn't expect that I would ever win this, but I actually just won it for one dude. That was so sick. And here I was like, okay, I think I'm winning maybe. I mean, this was a bit scary, but I was like, okay, now my food is super good. Everything is kind of good. I mean, now I have +7 per turn. My science is a bit low, but there's some revolutionary idea here. And I can get either computers or multimedia, and then I get +3 from this as well. But the game is running a bit low. And oh yeah, and I drew a war. Yeah, I drew a war because oh yeah, I actually drew this war. I think relatively quick, right? Like I think I had like Air Force and the thing, and I drew the war as well. I don't know, but not sure if it was this game. But yeah, with the war, I was like, okay, I will just war someone, and then I get a bunch of points. I mean, if I can war Miloslav, that would be of course the best. Then I just cut his points in half. I get like hopefully like +20, and then he goes -20. Then I already cut that in half, and then basically I'm equal with everyone, but have everything better than them with eco wise and military wise and all the good stuff. So then I should win. But it wasn't like spoiler alert, it wasn't so easy. So first of all, I'm running a bit low on population now. Actually, is it true? No, not even true. No. Okay, that's not true. So just lying. Now here I was like, okay, this next turn, I actually thought next turn I would just attack Arne because Arne has like 2 MA, he has like no food. So he cannot really defend. But he made an interesting play here. Takes fundamentalism. He also had like 2 MA, so I was like, yeah, even if he has, then doesn't have too much to do. But I mean, I guess like 2 Air Forces theoretically would be already +22. So that's already pretty decent potential, to be honest. Here tanks, and he does get this, and here I was like, that is annoying actually, because that means that he is also pretty safe, because now actually the Marine also sets him up for another +10, and I think with that he was safe. Is it even true? I mean, it's like 5 and an 8. 18 goes like 52. Yeah, I think I couldn't really get much stronger because I only have 4 MA. You know. Now here I make the biggest mistake of my life. Or no, sorry. Here I make the best play of my life. I do a losing war. Now I'm actually only at 52 because I don't have enough even rocks, but also not enough MA to even upgrade this, which would give me +4, so +8, and then +2, so +10. Then I would have 62. Now Miloslav, what can he do? Like 5, and I mean he has like 14, so like actually yeah, he can do like 10, 17. No, so like I guess yeah, just like 7 and 5. Let's say it's probably the most reasonable. So that would be 8 strength, 18 strength, 18 would be 52. So you would actually tie with me then. So, but then you can like make a warrior and then he wins. Yeah, because this is 7 plus 5 is 12 rocks and he has 14 rocks. So I can like make a warrior and then he wins the war. So yeah, Mardin is good. Yeah, okay, guys. I mean, for me, Mardin would also be good. Wait, Mardin is good. Okay. This game worked out, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's still only one unit, kind of. But this time, the one unit is kind of important. And it's also not a real unit, right? It doesn't even make the strength. It only makes a tactic. But yeah, this is like kind of a really good tactic for it and a really good situation for it. Oh, but he would lose the Nobel, so he would go -2. So I actually would win even with a warrior. I would win by 1 actually. Interestingly enough. But anyway, I thought here I wore Arne, and I was looking like, okay, just fundamentalism. That caused all his science. Then I saw Churchill with a ref idea, but then he cannot go into modern infantry because that's only 9. And I thought that if he can't go into modern infantry, he can't really get that much stronger, which is just not true. Like fundamentalism make he can actually go into rockets, and then I mean he has to disband some good stuff, which is very bad. But yeah, like rockets, for example. And then he has 16, 24. So if he just like makes 2 rockets is 14, and then 2 swordsmen is 20 in total. So that's you can easily do that. That would be +10, +4, 14, so +20 already. That's 49. But he can do more, right? What can he do? Ah, right. Maybe that was exactly the thing that I did in game as well. Because I was like, oh yeah, +20 is 49. Okay, then I win. But he has the fundamentalism as well. I was like, oh, the fundamentalism for the MA, but it's of course 6 strength, and that's what I forgot. So with this +6, so now he gets already +10 and +6 from the tactics, 16, 20, and so 26, and 26 is already 55. Then he wins by 3. Now, not only that, I also have just a free armed aggression here. So even if I don't see this 6 strength, like why don't I just aggress him? He still needs to respond in the same way. Then I draw another card. I don't know. Maybe that's kind of nice when you have like nothing to do. And or maybe I can still war next turn when I can actually upgrade this. Like what the hell am I doing? Like just armed intervention him. You get 7 points. I mean, even if I won the war without the fundamentalism, +20, 49 is 3. I get 8 points. Like, and then there's like maybe events that I don't know. I mean, these events couldn't actually help him. I actually checked. For some reason, I did check that. Now, yeah, horrible. Like horrifyingly bad. Like what am I even thinking? Yeah. So yeah, here I'm like, I did it, and funnily enough, I even overlooked another thing. And I take Einstein Computers Urban Growth, super cool. That's like frequently a deck with a democracy even. There's like a starting pack of some kind of deck, science deck. So that's super cool. Now here I realize, oh, there's a military theory that can also come. There's even two in the deck, and this can just work for him as another way to defend. Oh no, I was gonna put 1.5 hours. No, I need to go fast, fast, fast. But basically, with this military theory, he has another way because now you have the extra science. He can actually go into the modern infantry. Then he actually makes modern infantry and one cannon, and then he does kind of the same thing. Because this is 11, this is 16. He now has the science to do the modern infantry, and he actually has perfect 7 CA for it. He does like from the military theory, modern infantry, 1, 2, 3, 4 to display them based on patriotism. 5 and then kill off 2 dudes to make some guys or something, and then it was like perfect. Or yeah, actually no, 9 even. Oh yeah. And then like reserves and patriotism. Oh yeah, and ref idea he needed to. So he needed every single CA, I believe. But then he would also win by like 3 points or something. Um, so I was like, oh, well, I guess I lose the war. And if I lose the war, I'm already very low. So I was like, looking a little suspicious when there's only 20 cards in the deck and there's only Hollywood and Manhattan. And I was looking at the Manhattan with the computers, thinking, okay, this Manhattan can do something for me if they don't take it away, which they might. Um, but like, okay, this Manhattan can at least make some points, and then maybe some democracy, and then Albert Einstein with Nobel can actually get some points going still. So definitely some potential, but I have like no impacts played. There are no impacts played, so I can't really get impacts. So I was just like, okay, I guess I honestly I felt like I was kind of just losing this game or something. And I mean, I think I should still win against maybe. I mean, I don't know. But I was definitely like defeated. I was like, what the hell did I just do? It was like one of the worst feelings I had in the game. Like this is like insane. Like I'm actually tryharding in these games as well. That's the thing. Like if it's just a casual game, I was actually tryharding, and I make such a big blunder. Like even if he cannot win the war, just armed aggression anyway, armed intervention anyway. But he can actually win the war with fundamentalism and with military theory. Like there's like 3 insane mistakes in one move. So, I mean, I must have been drunk or something. But what happened? Military theory, grab idea, modern infantry, Churchill. Wait, I don't think he has enough CA to do the Churchill because I thought I needed every single CA. So, wait, what's going on? Churchill, modern infantry, patriotism, upgrade, 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 upgrade. Um, well. Yeah, now he doesn't have enough CA to actually make an extra army, which is what the play was to win the war. And he loses the war. Now, yeah, okay, who cares about it's gonna be another 2 hour one. I actually thought I was going pretty quick, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine, whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of was convinced that he would win the war because I thought there's like 20 cards left, so there's like 2 more turns, and there's like no wonders. There's no impacts played yet, but of course they could still be played if he basically would have to disband 3 things, right? And this is a double iron with the Machu Picchu, and this is 2 scientific methods, so it's very costly, like balance, harmony. I mean, other things with science. I mean, okay, it's balanced right now. It's very bad anyway, but yeah, this just in general losing the science to maybe get some other stuff out. Um, but I was thinking like instead of winning the war, he now loses the war. That's like a 20-point difference. Also for me, so it's like a 40-point difference versus me, and just having extra 20 points. I thought the game is too short to let that pass. But of course, yeah, it can go very quickly. Like if there's some impact of science, and then instead of getting 10 points, you get 0 points. That's already 10 points. And yeah, then the impact of harmony, which I actually will draw right now. So yeah, and he said he was also scared for another war, which I mean, not sure why this play makes it easier or makes it easier to defend, because I think in the other play then he actually has so much strength that you would not really war him, because he still also has a lot of rocks. So I mean, okay, like he would have to disband his oil and stuff, but I mean, you would just do that at that point probably, and I mean, just win. I don't think I would imagine that he would be safe from a war after this. 'Cause I'm also like I'm already at peak potential here, almost like get +10 or something, and he would actually already be stronger, and then in theory he can like make another army or something. So I don't think he has to be really scared of more wars, I feel like, but I mean, no. But yeah, of course, for him, the impact can go probably. It's probably gonna cost him 20 points, to be fair. But of course, for me, instead of losing, I gain points. Um, so yeah, I'm getting like 20 points more than I should in a way. If well, not well, basically, yeah. For me, it's very positive. For him, it's not positive to defend. Maybe I can definitely see that, because like right now there's no impact, but there's still 2 turns of impact, and now everyone sees he's like weak on the impacts, and everyone will just see it. So I think this might just be correct, or I can definitely, yeah, it probably is correct for him to not defend. So that means that instead of being a big throw, it was a Giga Galaxy Brain move. Well, it actually wasn't, because like again, armed intervention would have just stole 7, and then I can maybe even war afterwards, which I'm pretty sure I could. So it was just a dumb move, even if I win the war. So yeah, but I don't. I still win the war, so that is like an insanely good outcome for me, of course. There you go. Now, mm-hmm. Miloslav was like, why do I have Marlene and not Gandhi? Kind of. Yeah. So I mean, okay, Marlene did do something, but now you kind of rather have Gandhi, and this opera is standing here, which is always great to see. So sure, it gets you a little bit more strength, but it's not like it's super sick, right? I mean, so zero culture, zero eco, zero anything. Like another leader just gives you some eco, then you just build the guy, and then you just have still the eco going extra, like something like this. Like you actually just make some extra guy from this. Like you can even kill off an iron, and then just get 3 rocks from the leader every turn, and then like get science and stuff, and then you actually just make the unit, and then you still have a leader afterwards. This guy or this girl makes doesn't even make the unit, because you don't get the unit. It's not like you get this 5 strength. So this guy makes you the unit, also gets you the 5 strength. So, I don't know. I mean, this just happens way too often, that you actually cannot build the operas, or you actually kind of just have already your tactic going. Like I just upgrade this, and then then it doesn't do anything anymore. But yeah, maybe I should. I don't think this game is the best convincing one, because it definitely did something. So I probably shouldn't try to uh, convince people with this game. And yeah, the doctor is high on strength, but doesn't war. Doesn't have a war, I guess. And I win 11 points instead of like losing 9 or something. And so I'm very happy, and I'm like looking at my position. I see that the Manhattan is still here. I see there's Einstein is going in, computers, Nobel Prize. I mean, maybe satellite, I don't know. Um, and I was thinking maybe a little aggression on Milo. Maybe the doctor will do an aggression on Milo. And here I was like, I think I'm winning this game. Because this is a lot. Here you go, Nobel Prize, 13 science. I mean, uh, good impact, except for impact of industry. So and then the military alliance. This made me realize that if you win a war by like 2 points, it's a bit scary because they could draw a military alliance, and then I mean a lot of things can happen that they maybe also some events or something. But of course, if you target someone that's right behind you or after you, then they can't get a lot of events that can help them. In this case, there was like an H1 event on top, which he also seeded in, which was also interesting because there was like Dark Ages and some other stuff. And if Dark Ages hits, then I think he wouldn't have enough science to do his play. But maybe he had knowledge about that Dark Ages. And here, finally, Arne makes his farms. And he actually ends up killing off his iron. And I actually thought he had seeded the impact of industry when he went for the oil. It was also an interesting defense just to get a lot of rocks, having no food and just building up, keeping a lot of rocks around to passively defend like that in a way. I think it might have just been a good play anyway, even without impact of industry. But I had a feeling that he put it in impact of industry, but now he killed it off, and I was like, maybe it's not in there, but maybe he still does want to do it. But this does kind of show that. I mean, he did use all his rocks, but I think if he would have some extra population, then he would just build, instead of having to spend a lot of rocks, he could just build one more army and stuff. And he does end up killing off his iron in the end, but he actually kills off the iron that gives him 4 as well. So with 51, could be saved. Probably not against the doctor, but can be saved against me. Yeah. Wow. And here, mm, yeah, the leader doesn't help. So now the leader is literally useless. Doesn't do anything at the moment. Ah, haha, I win. Okay, doctor regresses. Was very happy to see this because I thought Milo was the only one that I needed to worry about. Takes endowment. Goes for more strength, which might mean that wants to play another aggression or impact of strength. Because this definitely makes a lot of impacts quite a bit worse, so they must have a good reason for that. Prosperity is what I see it at some point. I put in impact of harmony. There was also a hybrid war, but I didn't have the happy phases. I don't think it was very good anyway. Yeah, get a nice democracy going. And finish the Manhattan. Which then also gives me this armed aggression as a potential. Which, yeah, was now nice to have instead of the war. Although, yeah, I'm not really sure about this war thing. I mean, at this point, then, yeah, probably could win the war here. But not by that much, so guess it didn't matter too much in the end. The unrest is what I was a bit worried about. This was also a reason why I wanted to seed first and then do the armed aggression instead of just doing the aggression first, because I wanted to push that out before I got unhappy faces from popping a bunch. So yeah, I was expecting this, but it was okay because Milo also loses 4, so I don't lose that much compared to him. And it builds back the mind. So here I was like, okay, yeah, impact of industry is in indeed. Kind of funny. Finally does make one opera. 2 operas, wow. Always annoying to see this. You're like, ah, the game is ending. I'm so excited to see it. Then stupid territory comes out. You're like, oh no, now I have to wait another like day. This last turn took forever. It was like aggressions and territories and I get a nice aggression. I had to wait for that again. I get the satellites and this, so I get another 10 points from that. So two religions for my impact of harmony. I decided to not pop. Could be better for population, but it's worse for impact of happiness. So impact of strength is in. So that was probably a reason why he wanted to go stronger. Looking at, I was at 78. Why was I at 78 and not 75 anymore? Oh, or no, I was at something and then I did Manhattan. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the reason. That was a good play. But it does kill off some other impacts, of course. And we're very low on culture, but yeah, a pretty good lead. And it's pretty close here. The harmony, which I set up 20, pretty decent. And here's the epic industry, which I expected, but only Arne really gets a lot. I mean, +6 is not a little, but it's like fine. And here's the impact of competition, which yeah, you also gain some points, but not too many. And it actually got very close in the end. But I win the first game. Very nice. And yeah, so I was like, oh, this war is very bad. Do I like get last or something? I mean, -20 here. Everything else being the same. I'm not sure if it was like exactly -20 or -19 or whatever, but it would be maybe not getting first. It would have been slightly different because I would have warred after instead of do the armed aggression. And then wait, no, sorry. No, yeah. If I just played the same line but I lose the war, then I would have like -20-ish. So I don't know if it was exactly 20 or something else. But maybe I would have gone second, but not lower than second still. So that honestly, I thought it would have been worse, but it would have been very close anyway. So and it was because I was like, okay, if I get the Manhattan, then I can still get it. But if I lose the war and I don't get Manhattan, I think I'm just last, which I think is true. But yeah, if I just play armed aggression, armed intervention, it always goes through, and then I can war even later, and then I just win without even relying on Manhattan, maybe even. So yeah. I got a bit of luck here that it worked out. It's like you make a blunder in chess, but then you get some resource where it's actually a good move. I mean, it wasn't a good move even when Arne defended because the armed aggression was still, I think, better, even if he would let me win. But at least it was not a disaster. It was actually kind of fine. It was just good. Or I mean, it was fine. It was not the best move, but it was like how it worked out. It was yeah, completely fine. But it was just yeah, lucky. Yeah, but then again, I mean, yeah, this is how it is, right? Like I mean, everyone makes mistakes. You just have to make less mistakes than the opponent, and that was the mistake. I think. Other than that, I played some quite nice moves. Like this early game was extremely hard to play, being on fourth position, And I really read the tempo of the early game very well, where I saw it was some strength push. And then I actually go for this inhabited territory play with the Columbus instead of keeping the Hammurabi, and I'll also just, instead of taking like iron, which is like completely game losing there, I think. So I set it up in a way that I also read the situation where it's like, okay, there's some colonies in there, then uh not too many strength events. I got lucky that I actually won the strength event instead of like losing it. So I definitely got luck was definitely in my favor. But I definitely make some clutch decisions with Suez Canal, with the Columbus, which was like not so obvious, and maybe some other stuff. But big blunder with the war, and a bunch of luck with yeah, top deck air forces plus civil service and stuff like this. But yeah, all in all, I did like the game quite a bit. It was an exciting game, and I think it made some good things. Yeah, so it felt pretty good. But yeah, if you just make this one big blunder, it just doesn't really feel that great. But I'm still very happy about the rest of the game at least. So with that, of course, yeah, Arne being the favorite, getting 0 points, getting 6, and then Miloslav 1, 6-3-1. The other game is almost finished. We're like in H4, I think, and we will see that soon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.